Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy. Today I am working in the kitchen. I love being in my kitchen and baking and cooking up good food and just restocking some of my things in the pantry. So what I'm doing first is making my taco seasoning. I follow a recipe in one of my keto cookbooks. I started making my own taco seasoning years ago, probably like 4 years ago or so. I love this taco seasoning. I think ever since I've started making my own, I've only purchased maybe 1 or 2 taco seasoning packets since I've been making my own. I have tweaked the recipe over the years to better suit our taste, and I just have everything mixed up in my bowl. I did end up making a little bit more because I wanted to really fill up my mason jar here, and I need to get one of those wide mouth funnels because when I'm trying to put the spices into this funnel, it gets stuck. So I have to shake it and tap it on the sides of the jar to get it to go down into the mason jar. So that's something I'm going to be investing in, which I'm sure it's not super expensive, but I want to get one of those in the near future. As you can see, my jar is not completely full, so I do go back and make more of it to fill up the mason jar. And I'm just writing on the lid what's in here and how much to use whenever I go to make tacos or chicken tacos or whatever I'm using the seasoning for. I will link the recipe down below, and I'll also make notes of how I have tweaked the recipe to better fit our family's taste. Next, I'm going to make some keto cinnamon muffins. This recipe is from my Southern Keto Cookbook by Natasha Newton. I looked online trying to find the recipe, but I could not find it, so I don't have a link for you. I will link the cookbook down below if you want to check it out. I have made several recipes out of this cookbook and have not been disappointed yet. So I'm just mixing all of the ingredients together and then I will get it into the oven. Amelia loved these muffins. Just knowing that she's not getting a ton of sugar in these muffins makes me very happy. These work out to be 2.9 grams of net carbs for 2 muffins, and they are so good. I would take 2 of them for my breakfast in the morning. They are delicious with a cup of coffee. So good. They are sweet enough to be like a dessert. They are a little bit on the drier side just because you're using almond flour. Anytime you use almond flour, it's going to be just a little bit drier than what a regular recipe would be using all-purpose flour. But they're still very tasty. I had to have Jason's help with getting the heavy whipping cream. I only needed 1 tablespoon of it, and trying to pour it from the large carton. This was the large carton that I got from Sam's Club, and it was just kind of wet and it's really hard to try to hold it with one hand. So I had to have his help, and he held the measuring spoon for me. I'm going to use my Pampered Chef cookie scooper and just put a spoonful of the batter into my muffin pan. This is a USA pan. I love these. I did go ahead and line it with little cupcake liners just to make clean up a little easier, and it's nice to have them in the liners for whenever I take them on the go with me. So I'm just going to pop these in the oven. My oven is preheated at 350 degrees, and I'll bake these for about 12 to 14 minutes. I think I probably did 11 minutes. Up next, I'm making some keto drop biscuits. These are really good. Again, because I'm using almond flour, they are a little more dry than a regular biscuit, but they are still really good. I actually had these with some Pioneer gravy mix and sausage and eggs one day. They were so good. I mixed it all up and it was really, really good. What you need for this recipe is 1.5 cups of almond flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of sour cream, 2 large eggs, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So I'm first going to whisk together the almond flour, baking powder, and salt. And then in a small bowl, I'll whisk together the sour cream, eggs, and melted butter. And then I'll pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients and stir until that's well combined. And then I'm just going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, I'm just going to use a large spoon. Again, I used my little Pampered Chef cookie scooper. It worked perfect for this. Just scoop it up and drop it onto your sheet pan. I do have mine lined with some parchment paper. It's just for easy cleanup. And I'm going to bake these for about 10 minutes until the tops are nice and golden brown. Next, I'm making some grain-free granola, and this has been really good for a little snack. I was going to put it in yogurt, but I have not been to the store yet to get some yogurt, so I've just been eating this by the handfuls as a snack while I'm working. So what I'm using is some raw pecans. I just chopped those up. I'm also using sunflower seeds, unsweetened coconut flakes, almond flour, 1 large egg white, some granular erythritol, salted butter, vanilla extract, and liquid stevia. In a medium-sized bowl, I'm going to mix the pecans, sunflower seeds, coconut flakes, and almond flour. And then in a small bowl, I'm going to whisk the egg white and then stir in the erythritol, melted butter, vanilla extract, and stevia. Then I'll pour the wet mixture over top of the pecan mixture and stir that up really well. And then I'll spread it out onto a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. And I'm just gonna bake it on 325 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. And I pull it out every 10 minutes or so and stir it up a little bit. I did brown mine a little too much, but it still tastes really good. And then I just put it in a mason jar and put it in my pantry, and whenever I want some granola for a little snack, it's there, and I just pull it out of the pantry and eat it. And it's grain free. There's only 1.6 grams of net carbs in it, and it's 186 calories for a 1/4 cup serving. This next bread or dessert, whatever you want to call it, was hands down the best thing that I made all day on this day. It was absolutely delicious. It is lemon poppy seed loaf. Amelia loved it. I even packed it in her lunch a couple of days for like a little dessert. I had it for breakfast. I had it for dessert. Jason had it and enjoyed it. I don't think Isabella tried any of it, and I don't think Kason tried it either. So I'll have to make another one. Oh, darn. But anyways, this was really good. This is also from the Southern Keto Cookbook. I'm going to look and see if I can find a link for it somewhere on the internet. Hopefully I can find a link because this is really, really good. I don't like to share the recipe whenever I can't find a link for it, because these authors worked really hard on coming up with these recipes and publishing it in a cookbook and everything. And for me to just put it out there on the internet, on YouTube, for anyone and everyone to see it, I just don't feel like that's very fair to the person, to the author that came up with the recipe. That's why I will always link the actual cookbook down in the description if you want to check it out. But like I said, I'm going to look for this recipe and see if I can find it. Hopefully I can. And because y'all, this was so good. It was very, very moist. You use coconut flour instead of almond flour, so that might have made a difference in it being more moist than the other recipes that I used almond flour. You also use sour cream and then some lemon juice. And these lemons were huge. This was a very large lemon that I had. These came from Sam's Club. If you haven't seen that grocery haul, then I will link it down in the description as well if you want to check that out. But again, hands down, this was the best dessert, breakfast, bread, whatever you want to call it. It was so, so good. And I think this next weekend coming up, I'm going to make it again because it was that good. Once the lemon poppy seed loaf is done, as soon as it comes out of the oven, I'm adding the glaze, which is optional, but obviously it's going to add to the sweetness to it. So it's just heavy whipping cream and confectioner style erythritol. And I usually use the Swerve brand for that. My granola is all done, so I'm just adding it to my mason jar. And as you saw, I did get it a little too brown, but it's still very, very good. Next, I'm making some pimento cheese, and y'all, I did not know how easy it was to make this stuff. I am never buying store-bought again. This was absolutely delicious. Very, very good. I did tweak the recipe a little bit because I wanted mine to be a little spicy. I love spicy pimento cheese, and usually I buy it from Aldi, but never again am I buying it. I am going to start making it myself. So as you can see there, I'm just shredding up my sharp cheddar cheese and some mild cheddar cheese, and I love that little cheese grater. I will link it down in the description below. It is so quick and easy to use. Absolutely love it. Again, this is from the Southern Keto Cookbook. I was really hoping that I could find the link for this recipe because it's really good, but it is not on her website. I can't find a link for it, but if you go onto Pinterest, you can type in keto pimento cheese or just pimento cheese spread, and there are so many recipes that will pop up. But like I said, I did tweak this a little bit. I wanted to make it spicy, so I used a little bit of cayenne pepper in it, and it turned out very, very good. I like to put mine on a low-carb tortilla, roll it up, and have that for lunch. It's really easy to eat while I'm driving because if you're new here, I do home health therapy, and I'm on the road all the time. So it's a really quick, easy lunch to have. Jason likes to eat it with some tortilla chips. I know some people will eat it on celery or bell peppers, but it's just really good. So now I'm showing you everything that I baked. These are the drop biscuits, and I did find the recipe for this, so I will link that down in the description below. These were really good. Like I said, I had it with some gravy and eggs and sausage. Very, very good. These are the cinnamon muffins that Amelia and I really enjoyed. I will definitely have to make some more of these. I think I'll make some and go ahead and freeze them. And this was our favorite, the lemon poppy seed loaf. So, so good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think your favorite would be. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.